This episode is brought to you by Complete Auto Service Center. If you've ever gone with the cheapest auto repair only to deal with the same problem again, you already know cheap isn't value. At Complete Auto Service Center, value means fixing it right the first time. Every visit includes a full inspection by experienced, certified technicians, plus a clear report that shows what's good, what needs attention right now, and what can wait. That means fewer surprises, smarter decisions, and a vehicle you can actually trust. And they don't waste your time. Your vehicle is inspected the same day, and they contact you quickly so you're never left wondering what's going on or what comes next. I've known Mark and Amanda for years. They've built a shop that treats customers like family, and family that stands behind their work with quality parts and a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. So before that small issue turns into a big repair, make Complete Auto Service Center your first call. Visit CompleteASC.com or stop by 718 Woolard Boulevard in Richmond. Complete Auto Service Center. Complete maintenance, complete repairs, complete peace of mind. This is the Son of the Law podcast. Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to the Son of the Law podcast. I'm your host, Jay Christopher. Joining me in my home on this lovely evening, Mark and Amanda Guy. What's happening, y'all?
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, Amanda. She's like,
he can speak for us.
What do I say? What do I say?
Hi, y'all. What's up?
It was so funny. The very first time Carissa was on here, the first hi she uttered was hi. It sounded like a little mouse. So, it's one of my favorite things. All right, before we get started here, I want to thank. This is awkward, right? I want to thank our sponsors, Complete Auto Service in Richmond, Missouri.
Who's that?
That is you.
Oh, we're just a part of it.
That's right.
It's not just us.
Yeah, the friends of the podcast have heard the promotions, and they hear me talk about how you guys have made me feel like family, and you guys are awesome friends, and I'm so glad to have you here and to talk with you. So thank you for supporting the show. We'll talk more about that, but also thanks to Cutting Edge in Lawson, Missouri, the Lawson Review, your hometown newspaper. Also, just again, you are why we do this and what this is all about. Thank you to you for supporting the show. Message us for merch on Instagram or at Son of the Law Podcast or Son of the Law Podcast at Gmail. Share the show across all platforms. Encourage people to follow the show and turn those notifications on so you can be ready for the next episode. We drop every other Monday at 6 a.m. So that drive to work or never miss a Monday workout can be extra special. You've heard that a lot. You guys got to know that sharing the show across all platforms and turning notifications on and engaging us with comments online is how we kind of get past those weird algorithms on the platform. So appreciate your engagement. Appreciate you sharing. This episode is brought to you by Cutting Edge Landscapes in Lawson, Missouri. Spring is almost here, and if you're ready for a lawn that actually turns heads this year, now's the time to call Cutting Edge Landscapes. I've trusted them with my own yard, and I can tell you firsthand, the results speak for themselves. Thicker grass, richer color, a lawn that looks professionally cared for because it is. Right now, they're offering a limited time early bird special. When you sign up for all 5 rounds of their professional lawn treatment program, you'll get 50% off aeration or 1 full application absolutely free. It's your choice. And they don't just do lawn treatments. Cutting Edge Landscapes handles everything. Custom landscaping, beautiful hardscapes, sprinkler systems, all completed by licensed professionals who take pride in every detail. With over 40 years serving our community, they've built a reputation for quality work and fair pricing that you can trust. Spring schedules fill up fast, so don't wait. Call Kent and Brandon today, 816-580-3343, or visit callcuttingedge.com. Cutting Edge Landscapes. Your lawn will thank you. This episode is brought to you by the Lawson Review. Since April 8th, 1881, one thing has never stopped in Lawson, Missouri, the local newspaper. From the very first printing of the Lawson Gazette to today's Lawson Review, this is the county's oldest newspaper with uninterrupted publication. Generations have lived it, written it, and read it week after week. The Lawson Review isn't just news. It's school events, local sports, city decisions, community voices,
and the stories that may not make the big city headlines, but matter most right here at home. A subscription is just $29 for 1 year or $51 for 2 years. It's an affordable way to support local journalism and stay connected to your community. Contact the Lawson Review at lawsonreview@gmail.com. Visit at 405 North Pennsylvania, Lawson, Missouri, or call 816-296-3412. The Lawson Review, your hometown paper, yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Okay, let's start by introducing the Mark and Amanda Guy, complete auto service owners. Mark, men want to be you, women want to be with you.
Just one. But that's all that really matters.
Welcome. Amanda, the pure as a driven snow, living life in Richmond, Missouri. How do you guys do it? Can you tell us a little bit how you were born and raised? Let's get to know you a little bit.
You want me to start?
Sure.
I'm born and raised in Richmond. I was born at Ray County Hospital. So my mom and dad moved to Richmond about 1.5 or 2 years before I was born. My dad came there to pastor.
What year was that? How old are you? Are you
I was
comfortable
born
sharing that?
I'm born in 78. So
Well, so
I
keep
have to do the math myself because I think I'm 29. It's pretty sure. But the math
feel
doesn't math
29.
out, you know. I think they came to Richmond in 75 or 76. So I have to ask him that. But my dad was got out of Bible college and had worked in one place for a little bit and then getting his own church.
How about that?
Yeah. So he came as a pastor. My dad's from Africa, South Africa. My mom's from North Missouri. So true African American.
That sounds like the beginning of a good joke.
Mm-hmm.
So a South African man and a Missouri woman get together and walk into Richmond.
What are you saying?
I don't know.
Actually, my oldest sister, I have two older siblings. I have an older sister. She was born in Nebraska or Iowa, and where my mom and dad went to Bible college at. And then my older brother was born in Africa. So
Really?
my brother Craig, yep.
Dual citizenship?
He did for till he was 18.
Okay,
He had
then
to
you had
make
to
a
pick.
decision at 18.
Right.
So, yep. So my mom and dad were missionaries there for a while. That's why after they got married, they went back to Africa. They were missionaries there for a while and came here. And then they came to Richmond, and I've been there ever since. They moved into the house that they live in now just about a few months before I was born. So
Really?
that's the only thing I ever knew.
How about that?
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. People don't live in the same houses like they used to.
No,
I think the average person lives in a house like for 5 years.
I'm planning on staying in mine.
Yeah.
You're going to have to kick me out.
It's awesome. How about you, Amanda?
I was born in Waverly, Missouri, and then mom and dad moved to Lawson when I was 4.
Yep.
So I lived in Lawson till I was 21, and then we got married, and I moved to Richmond.
21 years old.
Yeah.
Just brand new in so many ways.
Yep.
Brand new marriage.
Yeah.
Moved
I
to
was
Richmond.
23. I was the mature
That's
one.
right.
You know. Right.
So we would know you by
Right.
your father, who's been on the show, the
Yes.
one and only Mr. John Weir.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
And so the family is well known in the
Yes.
Lawson area. So are the guys with the complete auto service handle coming. Everybody's familiar with you all.
It is commonly unknown that there is a sister.
Really?
Yes. Lots of people know all the brothers.
So you're
She's forgotten.
the black
forgotten.
swan. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot. It's not a rapid fire question, but would you rather be like, would you rather be like, have a superpower or be invisible? Like, would you, if you could pick to be invisible, would that be the superpower you'd pick, or
Probably
would you,
not.
you wouldn't?
No.
See, I love the anonymity piece. you can control so much from so far away.
Just jack with people.
Right.
Move their heads where you want them to see.
All right. Tell us about your family.
I have a wonderful family. You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a wonderful family.
Like our family
Yeah.
or your family?
yeah,
No, the kids. The
Oh,
kids.
our family. Gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. The one that we created together.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Also wonderful, I hope is
Yes.
the next.
Yes, they are.
Definitely.
Sometimes. I sometimes
We have time to talk about your entire family tree.
they
if we want to.
they are wonderful, but sometimes I lose sight of that.
That's
you know?
right.
So I kind of have our kids split up in twos. We have 2 daughters, one that's 22 and one that's 20. And then we have 2 sons, one that's about to turn, this summer will turn 16 and the other will turn 12.
How about
Yeah.
that? Girl, boy.
Boy.
4-year gap,
Mm-hmm.
then boy. And
We're
then
the
4
exact
years.
same split as my siblings.
Really? Did you do that on purpose?
No.
No.
But it's an interesting.
It is.
Sometimes I think about how old Megan is versus Clay and Tyler, and
Where were
But
you in
I'm third.
your third?
Yeah. So Chris and Clay, 2 years apart, 4 years later after Chris, then me, and then Tyler's 4 years younger. And that's the same split as our
Okay.
kids.
Middleborn and a baby. You're the baby, right?
No, I'm middle.
Who's
So I've
younger
got-
than you?
I've got 3. So my brother Jonathan, JB,
Okay.
he's only 16 months behind me.
Okay.
And then Cherith.
Yeah.
And then you probably met my baby sister, Kara.
Okay.
She lives on the East Coast.
Okay. So you 2 middleborns in a relationship. Stereotypically speaking, 2 middleborns in a relationship is makes for an interesting relational dynamic.
I'm the first girl, though.
Okay. So
And
So-
she's the only girl too. So
that's right. So you've got a lot of firstborn tendencies.
Yes.
I love that. I want to do an episode on birth order because it's always been so fascinating to me that different people, different professions, different relational cues and triggers. I mean, they're all kind of tied to how you grew up,
Yeah.
so everything kind of goes back to your family and your kids.
Absolutely.
All right. How might people know you outside of here? How long has Complete Auto been in the Richmond area?
10 year. We just celebrated our 10th year in January 1st.
Okay.
But the guy I worked for, I bought the business from, I worked for 20 years before that. So,
Okay. So you've been doing it a long time.
and I was really known by my father before that.
Okay.
I ran for city council when I was young and in Richmond. And I got elected because of my last name, because people knew Brian Guy.
Right.
And he had a good name.
Yeah.
And people loved him. And I only met one person who didn't like him. And the thing he didn't like about him was that he would whistle when he went through the hospital.
Oh,
When
imagine.
when he'd visit people, which is what everybody else loved about him. So he was just a grumpy old dude.
Yeah.
So, you can't throw that one out.
The one that's just interesting. Can you imagine being that person
Yeah.
that is just so grumpy with life and upset about that?
Could be worse. You could be married to that person. That would be the worst than being that person. So
All right. What is something people wouldn't know about you or would be surprised to discover?
I thought about that. At first I thought the fact that I like musicals, most people probably wouldn't know that, but I said that at church
Really?
the other day
Okay.
in his message. So now everybody in my church at least knows that.
So, what type of musicals are we talking about here? Like old show tunes? Or are we
Yeah.
talking like the new Hamilton and things of that nature?
I didn't really care for Hamilton.
I don't know
my
that you can sit in that chair much longer than
I
love
made
that.
it through half of it.
Really?
Yeah. I just couldn't understand. They were talking so fast I couldn't. Like Oklahoma.
Wow. Okay.
Oklahoma, that used to be my favorite.
That's your jam.
Yeah. Now Greatest Showman's taken over.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I love that one.
Recently, I just watched Greatest Showman for the first time. Previously, I'd listened to it on soundtrack like
Oh, yeah.
a dozen or more times on vacation. But it's awesome.
Anything with Julie Andrews too. She was kind of, my heartthrob.
Which is very
She could be ugly. Just sing to me, baby.
Just a note, I don't sing.
of all the things.
But you've got the good looks.
Of all
and
the
smarts.
things I thought you would say, that is not one of them. That's amazing.
But I thought about there was something else after your last podcast with the Cannings.
yeah.
I thought, you talked about how everybody hates going to the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that'd be weird. I love going to the dentist.
Do you really?
I do,
well,
Yeah.
you all, that's my fun fact about you is that you have like impeccable yard maintenance, very together, very clean and well-maintained cars. Now, naturally that comes with it, but you probably floss on the regular too, don't you?
No.
If you mean regularly, like once a year before you go to the
Right
dentist,
before you go to try to fake
that's
it.
a
till you make it.
regular. It's every 6 months is regular. So yeah, it's actually just I started going to Nelson's dad after Amanda and I got married,
Okay.
and he was such a nice guy. And sit down in that chair, and I could go there after work, and they'd say, "Well, Dr. Koenig will be in a few minutes." And I said, "Well, tell him to wake me up when he gets here, because I'll be asleep in your chair." So
It's awesome.
yeah, so,
I don't know anybody who's that relaxed in the dental chair.
yeah.
What's the perfect shape?
Oh, yeah, or very ergonomical.
Mm.
All right, what's something about you that people would be surprised to discover, Amanda?
I don't like marshmallows.
At all?
Raw. I guess you can't say raw marshmallows, but like in out of the bag form.
Is it the texture? Is it the
It's the foam
foam feel?
feel
Have you
or
ever?
Peeps? Mm-mm.
This is a very polarizing comment you just made there. I love Peeps.
I've heard.
They're fantastic. I'll show you my Peep video.
Excuse me.
About 5 years ago, I did a taste testing video where I was convinced that the head, the abdomen, or the tail of the Peep, like whether or not they tasted differently and what was better than the other.
I would think the sugar to marshmallow content would change.
Oh, that's right. I didn't eat the ends because because if you sampled one of the ends, you'd definitely get more sugar. So it was taken from the middle. You had to pick that. But we sampled the head, the tail, and the abdomen. All right, let's go rapid fire here. Ford or Chevy? These are all for you, Mark. Ford or Chevy?
Chevy, just because they fit my butt right.
Okay. Most overrated vehicle?
Range Rover,
Most underrated vehicle?
Ford Tempo.
What is your Ford Tempo? That's a throwback.
Kicking it old school.
Oh
yeah.
my
I
gosh.
was first mechanic.
Oh my goodness. What's your dream car?
I don't know. I used to have a dream car,
What was your old dream car?
WS6 Trans Am.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good old American muscle.
Mm-hmm.
No, nothing European for you.
No.
All right, what's the biggest shop pet peeve?
Stuff not put away.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
These are for you, Amanda. Morning or night?
Both.
Really? You just don't.
I'd like to get up early. I like to get a head start while the house is still quiet. And usually I'm going to bed after the house is
That's right.
quiet again.
All the time. Who's more stubborn?
We are both stubborn.
Who's better with money?
I think
Amanda.
we're both. Yeah. I
Yeah,
keep
I'm
track
getting
of
that.
the money. I don't think that Mark's poor with money, but I
Okay.
keep track of all of it.
Who said I love you first?
Me.
That's fantastic. What's your biggest shop pet peeve?
Things not being put on the list when they are out.
Oh, so when you
Like
got
when we're out of toilet paper or paper towels, or I don't want to be out.
to have that ready to rock and roll.
Mhm.
So no just-in-time delivery methods for
No.
you want to add
I
stock.
always have stock.
Okay. Have you ever said yes, you too, when it made absolutely no sense, like a waiter says, enjoy your meal?
I told a lady in my Rotary Club that I loved her once. Just to answer. Yeah. We were talking on the phone, and I said, "All right, love you." And then I was like,
I just said I
crap.
love you.
Hopefully she didn't notice. And then her husband is our insurance agent, and I talked to him later that day, and I go, "Yeah, she probably didn't notice, but I told your wife I loved her today." And he goes, "She already called me and told me."
It must have been just, what do you call it? Just like when it happens all the time.
Yeah,
Just,
I was like talking to Amanda and just
Yeah.
say, "I love you."
yeah. I love that. What's the most ridiculous thing you've ever spent money on?
We're pretty practical when it comes to stuff.
Okay. What is a tiny thing that instantly improves your mood?
Do we have to keep this G rated or?
I think everybody's going to know what that means. That's just fine.
I do like physical touch. If you're looking about love
Oh,
language,
you're a love language.
that's
He's a
one of my
physical touch
secondary
guy.
secondary love
What's
language.
your primary?
Words of affirmation.
What's your
probably.
primary?
Quality time.
Your quality time.
Quality time and physical touch.
How about that?
We
I
both
love
have that secondary physical touch. That works out well.
That works great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's something about you that most people get wrong at first?
I think people, because I like my car clean and I like my yard fixed up, they think that I expect that from them.
Oh.
And I don't. My neighbor used to say, "You probably hate my yard." No, it's not my yard. I don't care about it. It's,
Yeah.
it's your yard.
This is just my preference, the way I choose to keep my things.
My stuff. Yeah.
How about that? Amanda?
That we don't, that we can't relax and just enjoy people, but kind of the same, along the same lines.
So they
that
think
our
you-
standards are,
Higher than others. They think they assume that your standards are higher than theirs or whatever.
Or that we hold them to our
hold
other
them
people to our own standards.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And so do you find that is like a barrier to relationship?
sometimes I think until they get to know us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And then
then
they're
we
like,
can-
oh, wait, their
we
people
can
are
enjoy
actually really
people.
cool.
Yeah, we can, I hope so.
I've
But we
never
can
felt that, by
enjoy
the way.
people just getting to know you and where you're at. You
Yep.
don't have to
Come
do
as
the
you
same
are.
thing as we do.
Come as you are. I love that. You've always made me feel that way. And that's either that or it's because I'm too dense to know that there's a different standard.
Hey, whatever.
What is a compliment that you've never forgotten?
You know, as a person that likes words of affirmation, but I don't like them. I'm too shy to take them to my face.
Oh, okay.
So overhearing my boss tell somebody that he's the best I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
He can fix anything.
Okay.
And he was probably manipulating me. He was good at that.
He was trying to
but
set you up.
telling somebody else that I was good at something, and it was a struggle for me to find something I was good at as a young man. So when I
Okay.
found that, and then he affirmed that, it was that stuck with me.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Anything to add, Amanda?
I don't.
No. What do you think your younger self would be surprised about your life today?
I would say the level of confidence that I
Yeah.
have now that I didn't have as a younger person.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You agree with that?
Total for me, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. I love that answer. Yeah. And when did you feel like the confidence shifted?
It grew for me over time, and it really started, in that you're that 13, 14, 15. When I was 15 years old, my learner's permit said I was 5'3" and I weighed 100 pounds. So I was a little guy.
Little guy.
And so with that came a lack of confidence. I was not good at sports at all.
Mhm.
I tried them all, was not good at any of them. My brother was, and he had a lot better hair than me too. Still does.
You have a full head though.
No,
You don't?
yeah,
Oh,
these are nice headphones you got on here. I can't see the top. And so when I started working at a shop and I started working on stuff and I figured out I can do this and not everybody else can.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, one of the worst vehicles to work on was a Ford Aerostar.
Yeah.
But
the
my
minivans, right?
Yeah. One of the first minivans.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible to change spark plugs with on because they were so tight. My skinny little hands could get in there and do it when nobody else could.
Oh.
And all of a sudden there's something I can do that not everybody else can do.
Yeah.
And then my boss reaffirming that in those days. And I started fishing with him and stuff then too.
Yeah.
And so you start to be around guys
Mm-hmm.
and it gave me a confidence that I didn't have before. And then it grew from there.
That's awesome.
Amanda's she's always said I could do more than I can do.
Mm-hmm.
So that built that. Yes. We were remodeling our basement and she goes, we were talking about hiring an electrician. She goes, you can do that. And I go, no, I can't. We could burn this house down.
So funny.
Sheetrock. Yeah, you can do that. No, I can't.
That is so funny. Like, you can literally tear a car apart and put the entire thing back together, and you're worried about an electrical outlet. Like, that is awesome.
12 volts won't kill you.
How about you, Amanda? Where'd your confidence
where
grow?
did my confidence come from? I think Mark. I mean, I grew in confidence. I was not good in school.
Mm-hmm.
I say that I struggled in school. I got good grades.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was known for, or what I felt like I was known for, was not being able to read well, or those kind of things. I found workarounds. I found how I could still get good grades, and but internally, self-confidence was pretty low. But finding somebody that wanted to be with me, you know, and getting married, and then finding, I can be a mom, and I can manage life, and then it's just grown from there. You can always do more than you think you can.
That's awesome.
And then we've had struggles and things, and as you push through them, then you gain a little more confidence of, I can do hard things.
Yeah. We made it through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. I love that. What's something you pretend not to care about, but you actually do?
Punctuality.
Oh, got to be on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. Is that how you go?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how she rolls for sure.
How about you?
I like to be on time.
Okay.
Yeah.
6 o'clock. I'm there at 6.
Yeah.
See you at 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For the most
Or
part.
5:50.
Yeah.
What's the question you have for our next guest?
That's a good question. Who's your next guest?
I don't have it picked
See?
out yet.
See, I don't know.
It can be anything about any deal. Matt Wright asked if penguins have knees.
Oh, that's where that came from.
It is, yeah. And then
wondered
I
that.
forgot to ask the next guest, and so I'm terrible about some of these things. I I'll start something. If it catches, I'll keep doing it. But I don't know.
I tell you, a question that we got in a book we were reading the other day. What was it? What's the most fulfilling experience in your life?
Oh, ooh, what's
That
your
took a
answer to
long-
that one?
It took a long. We talked about a lot of things,
Yeah.
but probably our marriage is probably the most fulfilling
Love that.
thing. But yeah, we had to talk over that a long time to figure that out. So
But as
yeah,
we
that's
talked
what
about it, it was all things that were fulfilling had been a struggle. Just things we had pushed through, or the things that come easy aren't always too fulfilling.
Yep.
Right. That's a interesting perspective, right? The thing that you go to the beach for the day, it's awesome. Type 1 fun, great. Had an awesome time, but not super fulfilling in the grand scheme of things, right? You got to work for the thing that makes you appreciate it.
When we paid off our house, we took our kids to the beach.
All
Or we just
right.
had 2 kids at the time. And it was, that's fulfilling, but the beach was fun, but it was the fact that it was celebrating something that took years of work to get there. you know?
Yeah. I love that. What is the pettiest thing you've ever been annoyed about? He's got one. I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. When you wash your hands in the bathroom, using 2 of those tearaway things of paper towels.
You just want one.
Yeah.
One's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially, this is at the shop. And Amanda, it would just drive me crazy. And Amanda finally said, you should just tell your team about that.
Just use one paper towel.
Yeah. Get that it aggravates you so much. And yeah, because they just take a whole roll of them. And you'll look at it and the middle has been used and everything else is
Dry.
And it's like, this is so stupid. This is such a minuscule part of our budget
Right.
for our shop. It doesn't even matter. And I would tell myself, this doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Let it
doesn't
go.
matter.
Let it go, man.
Let it go. And then the next time it just ticked me off.
Waste.
Yeah,
Waste.
just wasting anything.
Waste bothers Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. How about
And
you?
me too. Like,
Is that your biggest pet peeve? Like the pettiest thing you've ever been annoyed about?
No, probably lying. Or not lying, just not telling the truth.
The whole
Just
truth.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Okay. Yeah. So
That is
like,
my-
yeah, those little white lies are just, lying by omission, leaving something out, a little detail. Yeah. It's fantastic. All right. Well, I want to talk with you all about, the auto shop and things of that nature, but in a small town like Richmond, to kind of transition here, trust really matters. And, when your car kind of breaks down, right, you're looking for a mechanic. Sure, everybody's looking for a mechanic, but you're really, in the grand scheme of things, looking for somebody who's not going to take care of or take advantage of you. And that is, I think, the primary reason why you're here, right? I feel like we have that relationship, and we were friends kind of before we were mechanics, right? You're, in that relationship, but so I have that unique perspective, but that's the relationship that I've observed just as you've worked on my stuff and, as we've talked through those things. So I want to talk about that because you guys have built not only trust here within this relationship, but with everyone I've ever talked with about your shop, which I think is awesome.
Good.
But I think in addition to that, you can't just do that sort of thing without living a lifestyle of integrity. And that's something I've observed as well, right? You guys have built not just an awesome business, but you've built an awesome marriage. You've got an awesome family, right? You've just so good and edifying to be around you. And so I wanted to just talk about that and talk about that. So anyway, let's before we talk cars, let's just talk about your story.
Okay.
How did you meet?
Blind date.
Blind date?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Who set you up?
So Bill Purcell was filling in as a pastor here in Lawson. I went to Alliance, Community Alliance Bible Church.
Mm-hmm.
Our pastor was on sabbatical. Bill Purcell was filling in, and his son Ben was my age. So I got to know Ben and his best friend, JB Guy, and hung out with them, and we would run into them various places. They were both homeschooled, so baseball teams and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Playing summer, that wouldn't have been summer ball, maybe fall ball.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so got to know them. JB started dating my best friend, and then they were like, you need to meet JB's brother. Now, I'll mention that my father would have preferred that I dated Ben.
Oh.
But
At the time.
at the time. But I knew that wasn't a good idea, but I didn't want to tell Dad that it wasn't a good idea because I still wouldn't hang out with him.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to know everything. But JB and Ben sent us up. Prior to that, they said, hey, we want you to meet JB's brother. And I mean, if someone's trying to set you up, obviously there's a problem with you. So I inquired further, and of course they were like, oh, he's got a good head on his shoulder. He's got a good work ethic. And I was like, so he's boring.
That's the assumption. She's got a great personality.
Right. Absolutely.
So jokester over here fulfilled all of my boring expectations when we met.
They let me know that she thought she must be boring. I go, well, she thinks I'm boring. I'll fulfill her expectation. I'll be boring.
That's right.
So he didn't sit we were at my parents' house. The little mishap with the movie that was brought, we weren't supposed to watch a movie at my house. It was supposed to be someone else's house.
Okay.
The choice of movie was not appropriate for the
The
house.
Weir house. Or
The Weir house.
or my mom and dad's house either.
So that got promptly shut off. And then we started playing games, but somebody wouldn't sit on the floor,
Wouldn't drink pop.
wouldn't drink pop, needed to go home soon, had to get a full night's sleep before he went to work. So I went to the kitchen with my friend and I was like, what is happening? This is terrible. As I hear the living room erupt in laughter. So then I couldn't have told you anything and been confident about it after that. I didn't know any. I had a great time. We laughed a lot, and it was a blind date, but it was all of our friends, kind of a group thing. So I didn't. Yeah, I couldn't have told you for sure any facts about this guy after that night.
That is funny. So who pursued who ultimately?
Probably. I mean, I called her dad a couple days later and asked if I could take her out, and he said, "As long as you don't take her to any movies like you brought to my house." I was like, I didn't bring them. I didn't bring the movie. I didn't do it. Somebody else did.
What was the movie? Do you remember?
Long Kiss Goodnight.
Long Kiss Goodnight. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that night we just sat around and visited. We ended up just sitting around the table and talking. Her mom and dad were there. And I remember as I left, I go, because I didn't think much about it because I had no plans on settling down or, looking like I'm 18 or 19 years old. I'm not planning on meeting somebody or talking about marriage. But I remember thinking, I'm not ready to get married. But when I do, I want to be in a family I want to marry somebody from a family like this. Yeah. Because I was like, yeah, these people, they have the same values and they're fun. And that was so then I asked her, Dad, if I could take her out.
That's awesome. What convinced you, and how long did you date before you got married? And kind of what convinced you that this was the right person?
You should probably answer that first because you figured it out long before I did.
We dated 3 years before we got married.
Okay.
But that Trans Am, is that what you said earlier?
Yeah.
Did you have a Trans Am?
No.
Oh.
But his plan was to have a Trans Am
Before
prior to get married.
So you got to have that before you can settle down.
I wouldn't even
That's not
give
a family car.
Yeah, I couldn't. Well, it's so funny because I couldn't afford the insurance till I was 25. So that was the date. I wasn't even going to think about, serious relationships or marriage until I got to 25 because then I could get my car and I could afford the insurance.
It's part of
I
the
didn't
plan.
know that your insurance went down when you got married.
Oh.
You see, this could have really changed things in my life.
Could have worked for me.
Yeah, if I'd have just known the insurance industry. So that was kind of my holdback on that. But were you going to say when you figured it out?
Our first date, just the two of us, was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We talked about his family and my family and cars that we had or family vacations. I think Nellie was their family van, and it was the name my mom had for one of our cars.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just, we had so much in common, and it was easy. It was relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that started the process. I would say about the time that I was like, yeah, this is going to be more serious. Somebody else was thinking, how can I get out of this but come back to it?
I was struggling through the fact that I really like her and I like her family and it needs to move to the next level. But I'm not ready for that. I haven't got my Trans Am yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I remember thinking, how do I do this in a way that I don't ruin the relationship so later on I could come back? In a couple of years, I can come back to this. But
This is classic guy mind.
oh gosh, yeah, idiocy, they would call that. But her dad was so wise. He talked to her and,
So yeah, Mark kind of started to,
oh yeah, don't go and tell her what you're feeling. That would be stupid. Don't just go and instead just start backing away and making her wonder what the heck is up. So
Yeah, what are you
this
doing?
This is something I've tried in my marriage early on too. So also with the same dumb results.
We'll get to that, I think.
so my dad was I stayed home one Wednesday evening. I'd been going to church in Richmond, had a small group, very involved in it, and I stayed home. And my dad, the rule was in our house, you did attend church. It didn't matter what church, but you were going to church.
Yeah.
So I had chosen not to go to Community Alliance and attend church in Richmond and be a part of it Wednesday nights, the whole be fully involved. So I had stayed home because Mark's just kind of backing away. He doesn't really call. There's, you just know that things aren't good.
Yeah.
So I stayed home, and Dad, why are you staying home? Why are you here? You got group tonight. You're supposed to be in Richmond. And I said, no, that's Mark's group. So that started the conversation. And so he asked a myriad of questions, and he was like, you're not married. Quit acting like you're married. Unless he calls and sets up plans, then you're not going out. So he just gave me some wise advice, not easy advice, because I already had attachments. I wanted to be with him. So he said, if he hasn't called by 2 days ahead of time, you already got plans. So making myself have plans if he didn't plan a date. So anyway, it was wise counsel.
I was feeling, I think, the weight of the expectations of all the, you need to do this. You're going to
The next step.
Then what you need to be there on Friday night. You need to go out this day and this day and that day. And I was feeling that, and that just took the weight off into where I go, oh, well, I do want that. Actually, it's not a weight. It's what I want.
Yeah.
It was funny because my mom and dad at the same time, they're watching this on their end, and they said, how's things with you and Amanda? And, oh, it's okay. And they let me know. They said, well, we really like that girl. And it was the understanding of, we probably like her more than you, so don't screw this up and don't treat her poorly.
Oh, that's awesome.
They let me know. But
that's awesome.
really what did it was I went to, that kind of got us over that hump.
Yeah,
right?
and I don't feel like that window was a huge
No. It was a few weeks probably.
deer season, I think.
That could be. But then later on, I just didn't know time frame. And then I went to South Africa with my parents. We went on a trip. My whole family went, and I was gone for a month.
No.
And I was miserable. And I just want to get home to Amanda. And I thought, I figured out, I don't want to live my life without this person. And so I talked to my mom and dad about it while we were there. And I said, when I get home, I'm going to ask her to marry me. And of course, they were very supportive of that. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. So you were married in 2001.
One.
And what were the early years like?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was super
Yeah.
fun.
We had a little bitty upstairs apartment in a house in Richmond, the bottom of the hill on Main Street. Had a great landlord. Farrell Hockemeyer is our landlord, and we could do whatever we wanted to the place. And he just said, I'll just take it off of your rent. And,
great.
Yeah. I mowed the yard, and he'd take $10 off for every time I mowed the yard. Took like 7 minutes. And we loved it. We moved in, and either one of us, TV was not a big part of our parents' home. And we plugged in our TV and we had cable. We thought we had run the lottery. What? We've got cable and it's free.
That's awesome.
So it was fun.
It was super fun.
That's
it was
awesome.
the first time that we could be together and not have to go out,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
which was super special. Like we were just content to have cable and be together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. It's simple, isn't it?
it was simple,
Yeah.
but it was so much fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not always the honeymoon phase isn't it always it ends at some point, right? So can you tell us a little bit about conflict before owning a business, right? How did you guys come into conflict, and how did you handle that?
We thought we had conflict before we had business.
I'd take those.
Yeah,
I would take
we
those
did.
conflicts now.
Comparatively, it wasn't any big deal, but
We were super blessed though that our parents sent us on a weekend to remember when we were engaged, and then again a couple times after we were married, and we just learned a ton of conflict resolution, how to work through things, how to express your feelings, and it was very beneficial.
yeah.
I think we built on those as conflicts got larger, and they were difficult to implement with small conflicts, but you get practice and you work that muscle, and then then you can apply it to larger things.
Mm-hmm.
I think back on most of those conflicts. I think, man, you were just stupid.
Mhm.
Me. I'm talking
Young
about
and dumb.
myself.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
myself just being dumb things that you're choosing as a hill, you
Mhm.
know, or just something that we talk about it now. If I'd have just told you what I was feeling then,
Mhm.
you'd have had a totally different response. But I was just trying to make you.
Yeah.
You should know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Louder for the guys in the back, Mark.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
We're
but
idiots.
The
We are
same on
such
my
idiots.
part.
Mm-hmm.
I could have been vulnerable and said what I
Mm-hmm.
was feeling, and he probably would have responded well.
Mm-hmm.
But I played the conversation in my head and it didn't end well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So then I was mad about the conversation that we didn't have.
So what's a rule or what's a tool that you use when you fight now?
I don't know that we have any rules. I think we have an understanding. We're
Mhm.
not vindictive, or we're not trying to hurt each other.
Yeah. We're in this together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're
But-
super blessed. We have the models that we had.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw my mom and dad fight. You knew there was disagreements, but they'd go back to their room and settle the disagreement and then come out,
Okay.
you know. They never fought. And
there was never yelling. Or,
yeah, no. So that we both had that same kind of model of, yeah, you're gonna work it out and you're gonna come out. There was never any question that you're
Yeah.
not going to.
Yeah.
So that's a super big blessing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But I think now we
Hmm.
try to find, I think this is recent years.
For sure.
When we have a conflict, what started it
Mm-hmm.
and why? What's the deeper, what's
What's
the
the root?
experience you've had, or there's something more behind that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So to dig a little deeper
Mhm.
and both from for me to think through it, but then to go ahead and share
Mm-hmm.
so that we can,
That's only in the last few years though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To say why did that make me angry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a rough go early, and through some kind of mutual friends and some advice, there was an article shared with us in a red book that said something along the lines of a couple that hasn't been married up to 25 years, right? They haven't figured out, like, when you hit that 25-year mark, that's when it really hits a stride.
Oh, yeah.
Like the happiest relationships are there, because after that, it takes that long to really sort of figure out those tools and whatnot. So I don't think it's uncommon that it's been just the last few years.
yeah.
Well,
I feel like we coasted for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
We
exactly
coasted
right.
on the blessings of our parents and the commonality of our backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. For making it yours.
Mhm. It didn't force us to deal with some things
Mm.
until later on.
Mm.
Yeah.
Who apologizes first?
I don't know. Do you?
I would say you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda's very much attack it right away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very
Go
much
right after it.
yeah, I'm very much a
Let it burn.
it'll probably be all right. If I don't say anything or we don't talk, it'll probably just boil over. I mean, it'll all just fizzle out.
Yeah.
That again, for the kids in the back, that does not work.
It doesn't work.
It's terrible. It's dumb. Don't do that.
Oh.
So
But I've learned too to give you some time.
mhm.
Yeah. So we'll weave, I think, the marriage into the conversation about the business, right? I mean, I think again that you can't really separate the two when you're working with your spouse, and then you're kind of like in it together at home and in it together at the workplace or whatever. Like I tried to think about questions of how it would be like to work with my spouse or whatever, and every time I did it, I just said, nope. I don't think that could happen for me. And like, I don't even really know what questions to even ask. So as we get down here and you think something that would apply, just let us have it.
Right.
Let's go back. How did you even get into the automotive business in the first place? You mentioned kind of working for that guy for 20 some years before you took over the business. Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Well, Bill Hodson was his name, and he was he'd been a friend of my family's when I was a little kid, went to church with us. And then there'd been a split at the church and they kind of got away from it. And then I was working sweeping floors for a guy named Mike Wright there in Richmond. My dad got me that job when I was 12, just sweeping floors in the afternoon, wanted me to learn a trade. And then Bill started working there, rented a spot from him. And so then after I graduated, I started working for him all the time. And so eventually he got to where after 9/11, and so it was just after we got married, he was in the National Guard. And so after 9/11, this whole idea of starting to get deployed, I would run the shop for 2 weeks. The 2 weeks he went to summer camp, right? But you can do anything for a couple of weeks and slide by. When he got deployed, 3, I think, wasn't it? Because
Julia was born.
Oh, and he eventually was deployed, and I ran the business, and
for an extended
period, yeah, for about a year and a half. He injured his shoulder when he was there, and so he did rehab, and then after he got back, he did a lot of active duty time, and so I tell people it's super blessing. I got to run a business on somebody else's money. And the expectations were they had super low overhead. It was just he and I for most of the time. We were renting a stall from Mike Wright, and it was such a blessing then too, because I'm here working, and right next to me is somebody who's been in business for a long time and another seasoned mechanic. Thomas and I became really good friends that worked for him. And if I had a question, they were more than willing to help me out. So it was really not very many people get that kind of opportunity to learn. But what I found was I liked it. And I liked dealing with people. I loved fixing cars. But then I found out I like dealing with people too. And so that started the idea. And then,
That's awesome. How did you go from like learning the trade to kind of taking a leap to ownership? I mean, you obviously had great mentors, had the opportunity to learn the business on somebody else's money. And, Amanda, how did you get involved in these conversations, right? I mean, how did you guys decide to move in this direction together?
Well, when Bill had asked us when we were first married if we wanted to continue in auto repair. He wanted to help us set up a business and keep us going. And he kind of presented that question before we went to Africa, and said, give me an answer when you get home. And we went. We just felt like the answer was no.
Really?
So when we returned, we told him, I don't think so. No. And then 9/11 happened. He had plans to buy a building that was going to be, I think it was $300,000, which doesn't sound like a lot now, but it was going to be, a significant investment, and we were going to move that direction. And so when we told him no, he didn't buy it. But then 9/11 happened. Then he was deployed. Just would have been a lot different if he would have been deployed with that amount of overhead. Mark would have been there by himself, away from Thomas and Mike. So just the Lord's protection of us. But I started when Julia was 18 months. I was just kind of wanting to do something outside the house. And I went to work for CNC, Discount Drug. Everett Thompson owned it at the time. And I did all the QuickBooks. I did all the bill paying, I just kind of took over that area. He taught me and gave it to me piece by piece until eventually I was doing all of it. So I did eventually. Bill was like, well, if you're doing it for Everett, you can do my
Not
books.
any different here. Yeah.
So
his bookkeeper had moved on and was doing some other different things. He needed to find a different bookkeeper.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I can do it. Turns out I had operated in QuickBooks, but I had never set up a business. And I remember, I don't know, it was probably the 14th of the month because everything has to be done by the 15th for 941 tax.
Let's go ahead and turn that heat way up.
And
it's not like you want the IRS on your tail or anything,
Oh my
no
gosh.
big deal.
just sitting there crying and like, I do not know how to do this.
Right.
But I figured it out. And so I started doing books for the shop. And of course, when Bill was gone, I did deposits, and
Figured
out
it
of
out.
necessity, because it was just Mark working, I started little by little being more and more involved. And the shop, then I just took everything home. It was small.
Yeah, there's no office.
There was no office space or anything. So, but we also, in those years, we didn't buy the business until 16. And so there was a good span of time that we just dreamed about it being ours. When, the things we wanted to do different or wanted to really focus in on. And
So you didn't necessarily feel ready. It just sort of naturally happened.
eventually
No, we were.
did.
It got to be we're ready. Yeah, and we were.
Those last few years, we were really ready.
Yeah, we got to. And Bill was, he was kind. I think he was kind of waiting until he turned 65, so he could, he was.
Parlay it right into retirement.
Yeah, and not have to worry about how much you make and all that kind of stuff. And he had a pretty sweet deal too, because I ran it. He would be gone. I ran it, and he would fish a lot. And so I was still running it, so he still got to be boss. And I thought, I'm running this anyways. Now, in retrospect, there's a lot that he was doing already, but
it got to be where he was fishing the majority of the week.
Yeah. And I was like, we had a talk, and I said, I'm ready. And I said, I'm not saying what you need to do, but I do need to know what the timeline is.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, I think it was 64. He said, I want to do this. I'm 64 and I'm going to, and then we'll do it that day. And I said, okay, do it at the end of the year that year. And we were definitely ready.
Yeah. We had saved and we were prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. We had the opportunity saved for a number of years. Okay. Right. So when we came in and we were able to just get right going.
That's awesome. And was that the day that you named it Complete Auto? Was it always Complete Auto before that?
That was Bill's Auto Repair before that.
Okay. How did you come up with the term Complete Auto? Was this just, you just liked it?
No, we were really looking for something that conveyed the idea of we are going to take care of you holistically. Like, we're not here to just do your brakes. We're here to take care of your whole car. And then we but we want to take care of you. The whole thing. Bill had set up a foundation of there are things that are totally me that I bring to it, but there are things that he set the standard for, and that was when you brought your car to Bill, people knew that he was going to fix it all up, everything, and sometimes that got to be a problem because he would
maybe without you knowing it.
Yeah, you brought your car for the alternator. Well, it needed another belt. Well, it needed a water pump, and because that's how he would do it. Yeah. He would assume that Chris is the same way. And all of a sudden, Chris is thinking of a water pump for $200, and now he's got all these other things and it's $1,500. Yeah. And some people reacted to that, but there was a great following of people that were like, they trusted him. Yeah. You're going to fix my car up, and I may have to go whenever I get the bill, but he's going to fix the whole thing. Yeah. And that was something that we wanted to build upon. We wanted to build upon that with even more communication. Yeah. But that whole idea, and so we ran a bunch of different different words through, and Complete came to it. Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. So is that what sets you guys apart? Because I just say, as a customer, that's one of the things that I feel like it does. I've taken my stuff to different people, and you drop the car off and you don't know when they're going to get to it. And then when they get to it, you get a phone call and it's not very instructive. It's just, oh, here's your bid or whatever. It's a whole bunch of money and you don't know what they're fixing. And then they've got your car and you're at gunpoint. You know what I mean? And all of that, right? I've not had that experience with you guys at all. And, I dropped my car off. You're like, yeah, we can see you in 2 days. And then same day or day after, I'm getting a phone call that says this is exactly what's wrong and this is what we're looking to fix. And
we found better ways to complete the mission as we go, right? I can't say that what we do now is definitely not where we started and probably won't be where we end up. Sure. But that underlying thought, really our underlying thought is peace of mind. We can't give you peace of mind in your whole life, right? But your car affects so much of it, especially in our area. It's not like you're taking the subway to work. Most
Yeah.
people are either driving to work in the city or they're driving around, driving their kids to school, those kind of things.
And it's a long way from Richmond to the city,
Yeah.
from Richmond to some of the outlying communities or houses and
Yeah.
housing areas where they're at. So
Where people are going to, we're going to work, it's at least 45 minutes most of the time, unless you work in town. So if we can take this area and just give you peace of mind in this area,
Mhm.
then that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And so that's always been our goal, is to just, we're going to take care of us.
Mhm.
And we've learned along the way better ways to do that. And we're going to continue to.
So, you took it over from Bill, who had his own style. You want to bring your own style to it. Did you ever think that wouldn't work? Did you ever kind of hit a point where you thought, not necessarily the shop wouldn't make it, but it was harder than you thought it was going to be? Or has it pretty well been dialed?
It's not been dialed by any means,
Mhm.
but we always knew the concept would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't know how well it could work. Yeah.
Our vision was pretty small.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Either of you
But-
think about changing your mind after we got into it, thinking this wasn't the right choice?
Not,
Not at the same time.
yeah.
I love this.
not in the early years.
Here we
either.
go.
There's really been some times where we thought there's got to be an easier way to make a living. But Amanda's cousin asked me just when we were skiing last weekend, he said, "Do you like what you do?" And I said, "I do.
Mhm.
I like the people. I like the work.
Mhm.
I like being able to help somebody out in something that's tangible.
Mhm.
What I always loved, it's the same thing that I liked about when I was a mechanic. Something's broken and I put it back together and I make it good. I even make it better than what it was.
Mhm.
And that's what I like. And I still like that part of it because there's easier ways to make a living.
Right.
But I still like it. So
We always come back to, no, this is what we want to do.
Mhm.
But doesn't mean that it's not a discussion
Right.
or a
Yeah.
frustration,
Right.
like,
Well, that's why it's work,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Right.
that's why they call it work. I mean, you wouldn't. If it was easy all the time, everybody'd do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so there's a growth process that happens there, and like we talked about before, the things you're most satisfied with are the things that you have to struggle through
Exactly.
for sure.
and figure through.
For sure.
Yeah. So how did those seasons where it was challenging, you're trying to work through it, ultimately you had the concept that was kind of going your way, but how did that affect your marriage?
There is no line if and I think in some spousal relationships with business owners,
Mhm.
there is a line. But it's always been our business.
Mhm.
My name's on the documents, but it's always been something that we worked on together. We
Mhm.
talked about together, we dreamed together, and we executed together.
Mhm.
And so there is no line of business and home. We talk about those things at home. We talk about the things at the business. Now, we don't take much home to business. Usually when
No.
I'm at work,
no, home stays at home.
home
Yeah.
stays at home.
Okay.
But business does go home too. So that definitely, the stresses, and something happens and I react, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I react to her and I snap. I snap at her. That's usually my something. And then I snap at her at 3:00. 5:00 doesn't go, well, that's over.
Yep.
You know,
You're gonna pay for that later.
That's a conversation. That's a conversation that goes at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so that definitely affects it. And the stresses, in some ways, it's good to know. She, especially once we had our own shop and we had a bigger shop where she could be there more often.
Mhm.
At our old shop, there was not any room.
Mhm.
And when we moved into where we're at now in 2000, we had an office where she could work from there. And
Mhm.
then she started to see the stresses of what I was going through
Mhm.
during the day. And when we talked about things, she had a better idea of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so that really, I would say, helped, although we've definitely had a lot of more struggles in the last couple of years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that I just can't fathom, right? What I do now, I work in the city. This whole podcast thing is a moonlight. But I get up, I leave, I go to work. I come home and I've got that transition time to drive home, and I switch gears, and I very rarely talk about what's going on at the office. You know, it's just rare.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't imagine what it would be like to have those worlds just so intertwined. So
What
I
do
don't
you
know.
talk about if you don't talk about work?
Well, we talk about the kids. We talk about things that are
Things that we should be talking about. Sometimes remind me, do we still have kids?
yeah,
Oh, yeah. we do.
What are they up to? What is what's her name
How
again?
old are they?
Yeah,
They're with us.
that's awesome. But those dynamics too, and Carissa had, and I have always said, and I think she might mention this with Nelson and Amy, but like sometimes we feel like, man, if we could really figure out how to be partners the way that you guys have kind of described, we could do wonderful things. And we've got an awesome marriage, right? So it's not like there's any criticism there.
No.
It's to see a couple who's actually doing it and succeeding at it is inspiring, right? I mean, I think it's really, really neat.
Like a lot of things, though, I don't think it's for everybody.
Sure.
No.
There's some things that work well because of who we are
Right.
that work together well.
Yeah. What are those things? Just a couple of examples. And
Well, some of the things are the commonality.
Mhm.
We're both
Tenacity.
we're both people that when you give us a project, we're going to finish it.
get it done.
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
And we're going to, and that's been a detriment to us at times, but it's also been a strength of the fact of together we will, whether it was when we were painting our first apartment or we were doing a remodel on our house, we're not one of those people that can work on it for a couple days and walk away. We're going to go without sleep for a week and we're going to get this thing done.
Oh,
And so when we do things like that, that's been a blessing that we're both that way. Because it would
And
probably
a curse.
Yeah, it's been a curse too.
yeah.
But there's also things that she's stronger at that I'm not that work together well. You know, her running the books and things like that. I've learned those, but I don't, and I couldn't. There's no way I could just step into her role. I'd have to hire somebody for sure. But there's the recognition of she does really good at that, and she helps me set up, and we transfer that to the side that I enjoy, the operations side of it, the people side of it, and how do we execute those two together? When we're doing that well, it's really fun. When we're butting heads on those things, it's not as fun. But
business.
it is, yeah. But it is, it's good for our business,
Right.
You know, and I don't think everybody's that way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I can see if one person was like super, driven like you're talking about, and somebody was more comfortable in the passive role or whatever, just let that hang out for a little bit. You could see some real tension.
Yeah.
Hey, he's always trying to pull me along, or, she's always trying to get me to do something I'm not ready to do, or, and that'd be a challenge.
It's funny because we have two different. We approach both the home and the work differently.
Really?
Amanda, I'm more thrifty at work. I'm like, I could find, those bolts online for $3 less if I got those from over here, and I'll spend an hour trying to save that $3. And Amanda will be like, we need that tool, and it's $27,000. We need it. It'll help our business. Go for it. And so she's more of go ahead and spend it at work, and it's exactly the opposite at home. She'd be like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't, it costs this, and I'm like, we got the money, just go buy it.
Yeah,
let's do it. You know, and
I think it's more our domains. I mean, obviously the house is more my territory or whatever. Not that it's not our house, but
certainly.
But I don't want to spend there. I'm spending in his. You
want to help? Help.
I want to help in his area. No, we can do that.
Yeah,
but I think our tenacity has gotten us for several years when we moved locations, moved from that small location to a bigger location. We got in the rut of when this is done, then we'll get back to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll
each
enjoy
other.
life after we get this taken care of.
Yeah.
After we get this taken. And there's always the next.
It eats you.
Finding out something we recently is accepting the fact that behind this struggle is another struggle.
Yeah.
And after that struggle, there's going to be another struggle.
Yeah.
So you got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
In the struggle.
Yeah.
And you can't keep putting, I think we put each other off.
For sure.
Like we're doing it together. So that was enough.
Mm-hmm.
But we were also growing and changing as people,
Mm-hmm.
and, conflict resolution, you just stuff it and we'll just once we get the project done, we'll go back and unpack that.
Right.
And eventually it
Catch
It caught up
to
with
it.
us.
Yeah.
It caught up with us. Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of talked a little bit about payroll and books and things of that nature. What about like hiring and firing people?
Mm.
What about dealing with upset customers and things of that nature? Do you have one of you take those issues and the other one stays in the back room, or you know what I mean? And I don't want your customers who might listen to this to hear anything and
Oh, here
feel
comes
a
Mark.
certain way or whatever, right? Like I'm just trying to understand the humanity of it.
Right.
The average person doesn't have a working relationship with their mechanic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an insulated relationship. So it's like, okay, I got to get my car fixed. You're just a service tech back there, right? And you guys don't operate like that, right? But like that's the nature of service work. So how do you all handle those things?
I would say I'm definitely the one that handles upset customers better.
Mm-hmm.
Their customers, we got great customers, really. And it's always, people always say, oh, business is good if it wasn't for the customers. Well, we got a wonderful group of customers, but you always have one or two. And you're dealing with people in their worst moment.
Sure.
Maybe not as much as a doctor or maybe even a lawyer. But their life is upended because their car broke down.
Yeah.
And so I always tell my team that they're not mad at you, they're mad at the situation, and you're just there. And so you need to take it, understand where they're at, and then say, I got this. I'll take care of it. So on the customer side of it, I can handle that. They can say whatever. I rarely have enough, where it bothers me. Amanda's very much better at sniffing out employee issues. I'm always, we just probably need I just need to explain that in a different way and they'll get it. Well, you explained it 17 times and they're not getting it, and so the last few times we've done hiring, she's done the beginnings, doing phone interviews and those kind of things with people, go weeding through that first level. It's been super helpful, but we do the hiring together because I need her input on that for sure.
Very good. When you talk about the upset customer, dealing with them being upended, I just identify with that, right? I mean, we talked about, the average person that you're kind of working with is driving 45 minutes to the city. When you break down halfway between, or you go out there and your car doesn't start and you've got somewhere to go, I mean, that sucks.
Yeah.
Your life,
your life is screwed up from that day on.
Yeah. And, I mean, it picks the worst times to happen, when the weather's bad, when I've got a report or something due at the office, when, I'm trying to get somewhere so I can get something else done and I don't have time for this. And, and then you get it going. And then on the back end, it costs so much,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
this isn't what you want to spend your money on.
right. And people don't understand that. Right. And it's, I'm at this age of my life and I'm starting to see, wait a second, you mean I'm going to spend this either way. So I can spend it on maintenance or I can spend it in a repair, but I should, if I pick the maintenance route, I can maybe save myself the hassle later or, the repair, but I'm going to spend the money either way. So anyway, that was one of my things we kind of talked about as we were setting up here. I remember the first time I had to spend like more than $1,000 on a bill, some fuel pump that turned into something else. And you know what I mean? It was just like, you mean it's going to be how much?
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, why don't you? And I come to pick it up and you're like, let's, here's your keys and, I'll just take your firstborn child and we'll get going here. And you just made it so funny. Right. And it was like, okay, yeah, that sucks. But at the same time, I'm glad it's done. I get it back. I know it's right. You're going to take care of it. It's all good. Right. It was a complete experience at that point. So all good. How do you, we talked about this a little bit, but I want to talk just one more question about protection. What do you do when one of you feels overwhelmed? Right. Because it's one thing to have a problem with the shop. It's one thing to have a problem at home or whatever, but just as the type of person who says yes to everything, I go through these hills and valleys where I'm like super productive. I say yes to everything, and I'm in like a state of flow for a while until the check engine light comes on, pun intended, and then and then stuff starts blowing up. So when he gets overwhelmed, what happens there?
We've gotten better at that, I think. Not that we've perfected it, not that it still doesn't happen, but we've kind of built in some
relief valves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're a part of a shop owners group, wonderful group of folks. And we meet every quarter in Nashville. And it's 2 days worth of training, and it's jam-packed training. But I remember thinking when we first started up, there's no way. I mean, I can't hardly be gone at all. And every time up until just recently, we've thought every time, I can't get away from this, do this. But the fact for us to get away and be away from our business and be around other people, should have a shared struggle. And then also we've flown a couple times, but we drive, and it's 8 hours in the car where we just visit, we talk about life, and we walk through things, and they're 8 hours back. It's that's become a nice rhythm for us, for sure.
Well, we implemented date night too.
Yeah.
Which was a huge.
That's revolutionary for us, really, in the last few years.
What does date night look like for you all?
That was the kicker, was defining it. For us, most of the time, date night looks like we put the kids to bed at 8:30. And in the summer, or everything but winter, we go out on our back porch and we have a book that we're going through to spur our conversation, because our conversation will tend to go towards shop stuff every time.
Towards the kids. I mean, you talk about the same.
We don't talk about us and deeper things, and kind of move past that first couple layers of conversation and go to the next level. So we just go through, read a book together, some marriage book.
Love that.
And it gets our conversation going, and then we do that for an hour and a half. I think we didn't have date night for years because I thought it needed to be us going out and doing things. And I'm like, when are we going to do that? This is one night our kids are all home, and blah, blah, blah.
Or even if we did have a date, we'd go out to dinner and we'd talk about the kids, and we'd talk about work, and we'd talk about, it wasn't a break, and it wasn't, it was a break. I didn't have to cook dinner, but it wasn't a reconnecting of us, of how we are doing. And we didn't, my parents encouraged us to do that when we
were told so many times to do it.
But when your kids are little and you're home, most evenings, you don't see the importance in it, or you don't like, what would we do for a date night? And the book's been a book. I don't even,
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Some of them we've read have been really deep. Some of them have been good. Some of them not been so great, but everything gets your thoughts going towards something.
Yeah. Progress.
Yeah. And not just talking. It directs your thoughts.
Yeah.
My rule on that is, if I read a book and I get one thing out of it that I can apply, I'm in. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's a good book that you'd recommend? We're coming off of the canning episode where they had several topics.
I wrote down. I got to go back and get some names of books that they like. But we have read that one,
Fun Loving You.
That was good, because we love Ted Cunningham. Anyways, he's a cool guy.
Okay, that's on Carissa and I's list. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
but I was thinking about what the Cannings had also said, and I'm hearing the echoes there with you. It's kind of like he called it like the AA. WDD or whatever, like
daily delay, weekly withdrawal, and the annual abandon. And I'd say we've taken their, we go to their marriage conference in Springfield the last 2 years.
Okay.
And it's kind of a nice annual abandon. We go a day early and just spend the whole day. We may go out and eat a couple of times, but other than that, we just spend time together.
Hang out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's been
I would think Cherish was one of my favorites.
Mhm.
Love and Respect, though's got to be,
Yeah.
every couple
Mhm.
should read that book.
Mhm.
But yeah, Cherish is probably one of because it was walking through a really difficult time for us in our marriage.
Mhm.
And that book really helped us dive into some real deep stuff.
Excellent.
And had questions. I mean, it
Mhm.
wasn't,
We just finished one called Communication Key to Your Marriage. It was good too.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's excellent. How have your kids come into this? You know, I mean, did they grow up at the shop?
Mhm.
You know, I mean, like you say that. I mean, there's
They resented it. Yes.
Yeah.
We made him resent it right off the
Right,
bat by
right.
making him spend every Saturday there.
you know, you say that, and maybe that's the case. Maybe they find something that they love at the same time. I have seen families in our kind of the way we have done our life grow up in the gym. Like we're following kids around at sports all the time. You see a kid come in at 4 years old or 2 years old because he's there watching a big brother or sister play, and that's where you see them. They're in the gym all the time. So, you know, it's not really unlike any other kids. It's just
No.
environment's a little different.
Yeah. They weren't at the other shop. They weren't able to be there as much, but,
Mhm.
so really not till 2020 when we moved locations, and then they were a little bit older, you know, and they started getting the new location ready, sweeping floors, cleaning, painting, and then the business just grew. So we were there more. But for the most part, Megan and Julia, I was a stay-at-home mom. I worked 1 day a week, and so they had a lot of time at home. The boys, not so much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they've spent a lot more time.
Yeah.
And at those first, really up until the last few years, shout out to my quality control guy, Brian.
Mhm.
He's been the first person that kept our shop to our standards.
Really?
And so that means that I'm not going in there on a Saturday morning or late at night and cleaning up after I played somebody to clean up to get it back up to my standards and stuff. And so the kids would have to be in on that, and they're, you know, begrudgingly there. So
there's so many projects as we got going. And there's always a project, which we've learned. But for a long time, they were a part of it. And of course, we homeschool too. So I'm home in the morning and then take the boys with us. And I jokingly said the other day, as Grant's welding some odd pieces together, one of our employees asked, "What is he doing?" And I was like, "This is homeschool arts and crafts."
Yeah.
Like, he was like,
he's
"Well,
welding.
Yeah.
He's welding a rotor to a camshaft.
Yeah.
You know.
He's welding.
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't learn how to do that until about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassment to what you can't even call what I did welding.
Well, that was Troy's comment too. He was like, "Well, it's better than the arts and crafts I did in school. He's going to use that."
Heck
So,
yeah. That's
so
awesome.
that-
Make sure they're safe, and then
Yeah.
they're good to go.
Yeah.
We want them burning their eyes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you hope your kids say about the you and the shop and this experience one day?
I really hope that it gives them a vision for what they can do,
Mhm.
and what they can build. The fact that there's no limit to it.
Mhm.
The opportunities that you have in any business, you just apply yourself and learn and find
Mhm.
as much, get as much information as you can.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what industry it's in.
Mhm.
There's opportunity there.
Yeah. And there's probably, I know there is more potential than you see
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Mhm.
So hopefully they've seen us start a small business that's pushed through to greater potential,
Mhm.
and that they can apply that to their own lives, whatever industry. We have no push for our kids to take over our business.
Yeah, that was the next question.
If they would like to,
Mhm.
we'll help
They better
them
work
in
their
that.
butt off.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
next some
I
moron
do
gonna
feel
be
like-
running my business.
I do feel like that is something that we've given our kids. I have my own insecurities about homeschooling. Like, did I do enough? Did I do that? You know, could they have learned more in this and that? We did it. Well, Mark says we talked about it before we got married.
She doesn't remember that
I think
conversation.
it was a voluntold after we had kids. I don't remember the conversation, but anyway, what I was going to say was we taught them how to work.
Mm-hmm.
And if they will, we taught them how to work and work hard and to a high standard.
Mm-hmm.
And if they will apply that wherever they go,
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like that's the best education I can give them.
That's awesome.
We
That's
taught
great.
them how to read and write and
Mm-hmm.
all those things, but we didn't skip that. But.
So just door open. Anything that you would like if you would just lift up the curtain, like behind the scenes, of how an auto shop operates. Like what? I'll throw a couple of questions out. What's the biggest misconception about mechanics? What's the most stressful part of your job? What's the most rewarding type things? You know what I mean? Like these are high level things, but again, the most time, one of the again perspectives I have is the average guy just comes in, he wants to get his car fixed. So it's all inwardly focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking around. We're not whatever. We're just, here's my car, fix it. I get it back, right? Super transactional and whatnot. And so sometimes you can just kind of get lost in that. So behind the scenes, what goes on? Like what are...
I think the first thing we have to overcome with that customer is the industry stereotypes.
Which are?
We're going to rip you off.
Okay.
I think that's I think
so
kind of the
too.
same with the dentist. It's going to hurt or it's
Yeah.
going to be uncomfortable or whatever.
Yeah.
That people need to, feel like people come on guard
Mm-hmm.
to protect themselves, that you're not going to get one over on me, which is not our intention, but you have to overcome whatever stereotype that they come in with.
Right.
I think there's so much that goes to providing a quality repair and a quality experience. There's a lot of stuff involved. There's a lot of cost involved. And so most people don't understand that. I looked this part up on Amazon. I can get it for $7.
Yeah.
And yours is $150. Well, we're not talking about the same thing here.
Yeah.
And behind that is a ton of knowledge and a ton of, the guys that we have are highly skilled. They could take that same knowledge and go in other industries that are a lot easier. They're super smart. They have deductive reasoning skills that a lot of people don't have. And and they have to buy all their own tools. Most of them have more than your car worth of tools that they've purchased themselves along the lines every year. It never runs out. And then you think we're ripping you off because they need to make good money.
Yeah.
And so that's something that's kind of changing, I think. If you listen to Mike Rowe, Mike's all about the trades are where it's at because there's less and less people can do it, and it's getting harder and harder to do. And good ones cost money, and all the things that go with it, all the subscriptions we buy, and then the people that we want on our front counter, they're highly skilled too, and it's just anybody can do that job, so it's really tough. So all the things that go into making it happen. And not everybody wants to do that, and not everyone wants to pay for that, and that's totally fine.
Right.
I get people at church, I go to this person, and I'm like, I don't mind.
Yeah.
if that person, there's other people that do a job that do it differently than we do, and it doesn't mean that they're doing it poorly.
Yeah.
It just means that it's different, and this is what we want to do, and we want to build a customer base that appreciates that.
Yeah. Well, let me affirm that with recent story. I had a 2002 Buick or a Mercury Grand Marquis. And to your point about I can buy that part on Amazon, I did. I bought a valve cover gasket for $27 off of Amazon. and I watched a half a dozen YouTube videos and felt like a champ going into the project, right? I've done this before. All things were good. I spend 5 to 7 hours on a Sunday afternoon getting the valve cover gasket off, the valve cover off, and then the gasket comes out and the new one goes in. It doesn't fit right, only to ultimately just fail. Call you. I'm like, dude, what am I doing? You kind of walked me through the way you just walked everyone through, right? I mean, like the knowledge, the deductive reasoning, the processes that, we have tools and things that we utilize to access these things that maybe the average Joe doesn't. So after a day of failure, I cart my Grand Marquis to you, and you guys make it right. But lo and behold, the whole motor had to be dropped down 5 or 6 inches so you could access a bolt or two or whatever. And I think you were impressed that I was able to even get the valve cover off.
I was. Without it wasn't even broken. That's impressive.
Right. Yeah. But like that's the sort of thing, right? And it's taken me getting kind of beat down in my own ignorance enough times to start looking at this differently. Like I'm forced to look at it differently, And so knowing I can take it to a friend and be like, yeah, I'm not lying to you. I haven't lied to you about my marriage. I haven't lied to you about anything else, right? This is the process, right? Sometimes these things need to get fixed. So anyway, I just appreciate you addressing those stereotypes.
Yeah.
So, you talk about customers a lot. What is a customer story? Just because I think that these are funny, like I think one time I was there and you were telling me about like some squirrels that had made a nest in this entire car, like the entire trunk was full of acorns or nuts or whatever.
Brand new Lincoln too.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you have a story or two you can share with us just about, auto shop antics?
I want to make sure that I'm not ratting out any customers here.
Yeah, no, and not throwing anybody under the bus. This is lighthearted.
The funniest one I had was a customer that called and their car broke down on the road. Just quit running and said, act like it ran out of fuel. I said, okay. So I'm talking, just a good service advisor just keeps asking questions until we get as much information as possible. And I said, act like it ran out of gas. Yep. Need a tow truck? Yeah, we'll get a tow truck, come get you in. So what's the gas gauge? The light didn't come on. It's okay. So like, well, maybe the fuel gauge is wrong. She goes, no, it says it's empty. And I go, so it's on empty? Yes. And it ran out of fuel? Yes. And it acts like it's out of fuel? Yes. Come to find out the gas light doesn't work. And on a Honda, they use a different plug that comes out, the sensor that comes out and tells you whether to turn the gas light on. And we had to do hundreds of dollars worth of work to get that light to work. And I said, what if you just watch the gauge? And when it says E, you fill it full of fuel. Oh, I need that light.
I need that
okay.
light.
Hey, we'll fix it then.
And fix it you did.
Yeah. I was just like, well, it sounds like your gas gauge isn't working. She goes, no, it's working. It says E. Okay, well, that's why it's out of gas. We put gas in it and it starts. That's what happens.
I wanted to know when I had 50 miles left, so then I knew I needed to go get it then.
This is a long time ago. So
I got gas twice.
Yeah. So
that happened twice?
Yeah. Same customer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. But she's super sweet lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, that sort of stuff is, it runs all walks, right? I mean, then you can have, something else I recently discovered too is that just because you buy a new car doesn't mean it's going to run any better or whatever. Like you have a perspective on cars that I'd like to share with people, right? Like, so can we apply some of this stuff, right? How do you buy a used car? Like what are some of the things that you think about when you're buying a used car? I mean, you helped me buy a vehicle recently, right? I called you. Well, it was more marriage related to the first call. Both you and Amanda took the call, and I was on speakerphone. I'm like, I'm just
He's venting.
I'm just working through this right now.
right.
I
know,
appreciate
that's-
real.
That's
That was
better.
the complete part of
Yeah,
maintenance right there.
it's better for you to work through that with us than to yell at your wife.
But yeah, you know, I was kind of gung ho about getting a car with, you know, so many thousand miles, like 50 to 100,000 miles or whatever. And you were like, well, I wouldn't really worry if it had 120,000 miles on it. You know, it really matters is the maintenance. Because but if you get a car that's got 75 or 80,000 miles on it, it's been abused. I'll take the one that's got 120,000 miles on it that's been perfectly maintained.
Exactly.
You know, so like, I don't know. You mentioned you don't buy repairs. You're actually buying miles.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, so many times and this happens all the time. So people think it's stuff's expensive, and it is. It blows me away sometimes when we make an estimate together and an engine and it's $13,000, you know, or something, and you're like, golly, this is crazy. And they'll go, well, you know, this is a $5,000 repair. This is only a $6,000 vehicle, or this is maybe it's a $5,000 vehicle and it's a $5,000 repair or less. Right. And I tell them, you're not really buying a car. You're buying miles. You're buying the ability to drive this car for so many more miles. We put this thing in, and it's got a 300,000 mile warranty, and we're going to do all these other things at the same time to give you longevity. The value of the car doesn't matter. Yes, this car is worth $5,000 dollars, but you go buy another used car for that same amount, you're going to still. There's likelihood that it's going to need $3,000 to $5,000 worth of work on it as well.
Yeah.
And so, if you like the car, and you know the history of it, you're better off investing in more miles that you're going to get out of this car that you know than buying an unknown most of the time. Now, there are times when you're like, this thing is it's used up its usefulness, and it's time to move on. And we love giving people options and giving them information so that they make the decision. It's not our call. We have people that love their cars. I had a lady who, she had traded off for Toyota and got a Lexus, and on the recommendation of a friend, and she hated it. It was a little bit smaller. She'd gone from a Sequoia down to an RX, and both very good cars.
Sure.
Both Toyotas, really. And she says, I just hate this car. And I said, life's too short to drive a car you hate. And she goes, that freed it up for me. She sold it, went out and got another Toyota Sequoia.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Just buy what you like.
Yeah.
Drive what you like, but expect it's going to cost you some money.
Yeah. Yeah. And that helped free me a little bit, you know, so going into this used car purchase where, you know, we bought one new car, and I said I'd never do that again. I might do it again after I decide to retire and, you know, got money to burn, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, you know, so we went into this, and it was like, yeah, you said about 100,000 miles. They need $5,000 to $6,000 worth of stuff. So, you know, you can get that on the front side. You can get that on the back side. Look for this in the service records and the maintenance history and whatnot. And that I don't know, that just helped free me up to realize that it was going to happen. You have something you want to add, Amanda?
The average used car needs $4,000 to $6,000 worth of work. Somebody else got rid of that vehicle
For that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the normal, on average, I should say. That's the...
So you see that pretty frequently, I imagine, right? And would you go so far as to say that's a stereotype of the things that you have to kind of navigate on the regular? You know,
Absolutely.
people buying used cars, and then they think they got a lemon or whatever, when in reality it's probably just time. You know, stuff breaks.
Most, you know, the value of cars, once you hit 100,000 miles, the value drops a couple $1,000s. So people sell them before they get to that point, but about any car can take any abuse for the first 70, 80,000 miles.
Yeah.
But if you want to get 200,000 out of, almost all cars will do that if you maintain them well. You know, so it's all in that maintenance, and that's something that's very severely lacking today, because it's expensive too.
Yeah.
You know, and that's probably one of those stereotypes too is, oh, they always try to sell me all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I thought the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, until I started seeing that, no, this service, this coolant flush. Who does coolant flush? Who does a brake fluid? That's a big one. Who does a
fluid.
brake? Why do you flush brake fluid? That's crazy.
Mhm.
Well, you come and see the stuff that's coming out of your,
Mm-hmm.
I can show you a jug of what's coming out of your car
Yeah.
and how much things are different from 30 years ago when things were made out of cast iron and they weren't, you know, they were much heavier and they handled heat better and all those kind of things.
Mhm.
And you start to see now a full brake system, a lot of times with calipers and hoses, once it needs it, it's $1,000, $1,200. This $150 brake fluid, if you'd have done it every 30,000 miles,
Mhm.
would have saved you that. And the fact that you have to find it in your schedule instead of schedule it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
that makes a big difference too.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Well, and you know, I was asking, you know, because I still think I can find ways to skirt the system, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying this to you, right? But I still think I'm smarter than this. I can do this, whatever, you know. So I was asking you, like, what's the best car to buy, right? What's the cheapest car? What's the easiest car to work on, right? And every answer is, Amanda's got it already. What's the answer, Amanda?
Drive what you like.
Yeah, drive
They
you
all
like.
have problems.
Yeah, and it depends, right? They say as soon as they get it, something that works, they change it.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So you're just I mean, but you're right. You just drive what you like and then fix it when it breaks.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
No, I used to work with a guy. He's coming to our shop. He was a used car salesman for years. And he always used to say, if you buy a car with 100,000 miles, everything's about to break. If you buy it with 200,000, all that's been fixed. And he had a point.
Mhm.
You know, when you see a car that's got 180 or 200,000 miles on it, somebody has fixed a bunch of stuff already. And
Yeah.
it's in that 100 to 150 that really that's where the cost really comes in.
Mhm.
If you can take care of that, then you can drive them for a long time. And we see that a lot. What I hate is you see somebody, they buy a new car and they spent all their money on a used car.
Mhm.
And then something breaks and they don't have any money.
That's heartbreaking.
It is. And
Yeah.
you can't help them. You know, they're signed up. We had this lady who transmission went out of her Yukon. She bought really nice Yukon, but she'd spend every dollar and here's $6,500 worth of repairs and she can't do it. So you just got to like in everything, you better leave you some margin in
Yeah.
whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
worse yet, we have somebody come in for a Missouri vehicle inspection after they've bought something and they've already purchased it.
And doesn't pass.
It doesn't, oh, well, it's supposed to pass if it's purchased, but then they want us to, while you have it, look over it, see what else it needs. Where if we would have done that 2 weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
before you signed and paid your money, we could have told you, you know, just done a
Yeah.
pre-purchase inspection, look over the whole vehicle, tell you what it needs,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can see if you want this vehicle or keep yours,
Yeah.
or make just a more informed.
We offer pre-purchase inspection and it's not complimentary. We do have to charge for it because it's more involved than our normal free 15-minute inspection that we
Sure.
do. But man, it would save people so much. At least you know when you're going in,
Yeah.
if you can. And not everybody can do that. You know,
Mhm.
most of the time you're buying it from the city, but
We have
you're buying it
people
from a
drive out
dealer,
from the city
yeah.
though.
yeah.
They'll take it.
We had somebody I went for a ride with it and the customer, and I was like, who's the guy in the back seat? This is a salesman. He'd
From the
ridden all the way
dealership.
from Kansas City in the back of the car, waiting. I guess he didn't want to let him just drive it. So,
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
okay, hi there, bud. Hate to
Hey,
tell you
man.
this, but you're trying to sell this lady a piece of garbage.
Yeah. Hey man, that's the thing. An ounce of prevention in that case is worth a pound of cure.
For sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. Let's see. We've talked. You all have alluded to your faith, going to church, you know, different things. How do you incorporate and involve your faith in your business? And I mean, obviously, well, I'll just leave that question on its own. You guys answer it. I'd be like,
There is no separating it, right?
okay.
The fact that everything we do has a purpose,
Mm-hmm.
and that is to make Jesus known.
Mhm.
And you don't separate what you do on Sunday from what you do during the week. It all should make Jesus known. But it does affect it a lot too. One of our core values is that people have value because they're people,
Mm-hmm.
not because of how much money they've got or what kind of car they drive or
Mhm.
what they're going to give us. They have value, and we're going to treat them as people with value.
Mm-hmm.
And so why did they get their value? Well, they get their value because they're made in the image of God. That's
Mhm.
what gives them value.
Mm-hmm.
And so that affects what we do. Now, of
Mhm.
course, again, we try to be integrous
Mm-hmm.
in what we do as
Sure.
well. Be honest, and sometimes it doesn't always. People don't always see it,
Mhm.
But that's what we try to be
Mm-hmm.
above board about everything.
Mm-hmm. Other thoughts, Amanda?
Yeah, we make those core values known to our team too. Before they agree to work at Complete Auto, we go through those core values of this is what we believe. Not that everybody on our team might believe it exactly the same, but they have to be willing to
You got to work within that framework.
it and be honest and have integrity, give people value.
Mm-hmm.
We want our main mission is to give customers peace of mind,
Mm-hmm.
but we also want to supply a good living for each one of our employees.
Yeah.
They're under
Yeah.
our care as well,
Mm-hmm.
and then have margin for ministry
Mm-hmm.
for them and for us as we serve people. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, I love that too. And I'm reminiscing or thinking about a class I took in school talking about Henry Ford, and his model for that was to obviously have a car, right? You're going to have a product that people can afford, but he wanted a product and he wanted to pay his people enough to be able to afford the product
Yeah.
that he produced. And it was a revolutionary business model of the time. And I can kind of hear echoes of that in the way you were talking. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic. How about serving in Richmond? You've been there a while, kind of born and raised and transplanted, why is serving Richmond important to you? Have you considered moving to bigger markets? You know what I mean? I'm sure there's other benefits that could be gleaned by, locating your business somewhere else. You don't have to stay right there, but you've been there for 30 years. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what's that about?
That is a benefit. The fact that you've got a name recognition, but there's definitely some disadvantages to it. I have a lot of friends that have shops in bigger cities, and they have totally different problems than I've got. Right? You just go out and market a little bit more, and you got more customers.
Mhm.
Well, there's only a certain amount of customers in our area, But I love living in a small town. I'm the only one of my 6 siblings that still lives in Richmond. Now
Mhm.
my sister lives here in Lawson,
Mhm.
and same way, like the small town. I've always loved when you're driving through town, your fingers going up all the time,
Mhm.
waving at
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah.
Because you know them. I know
Mhm.
that guy. You go at the restaurant, you say hi to half a dozen people. You see 20 people at Walmart that you know, and that's fun. And it's been super fun to add to that. I had that in Richmond,
Mhm.
but with Amanda's association with Lawson,
Oh, yeah.
to be able to have that relationship with people in Lawson through her and her family. And then we've gotten to know some friends from doing some in Lexington.
Mhm.
And, there was always a Richmond-Lexington rivalry when I was a kid,
Yeah.
the Bell game. And,
Yeah.
and come to find out, we love these people,
Mhm.
and we're getting a bigger and bigger group of folks from Lexington,
Mhm.
and we love them.
Yeah.
And we just live in a great area of the country.
Mhm.
We don't have any beaches, we don't have any mountains.
Yeah.
But we've got the best people.
Yeah.
As far as generally speaking, they're nice. They care about you. They have good values.
Mhm.
They're not nuts.
Yeah.
I go to visit my buddy on the West Coast, in Washington State. Some people's crazy. And super nice. I found that there's nice people all over the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
but this is a great place to live, and I love it.
Yeah.
And being in the small towns, just like the epitome of it.
Yeah.
When we've talked about other markets it's another small town market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, we're not building one in Blue Springs or Independence, or
Right.
we've talked about other.
Yeah.
If-
It's just making it closer, more available
Mm-hmm.
to other small markets. So
Yeah. Very good. I don't know. I got this question here. We can pull it if yeah, I don't even know if it fits, but I'll ask it because it's on here. If the shop closed tomorrow, what would you want people to remember?
that they cared about me is I'd want them to know the people,
Mm-hmm.
not they fixed my car,
Mm-hmm.
but that they cared for me as people. And I got to know Mark. I got to know Josiah or Melissa or the technician. I know Zach always worked on my car. Whatever it is, that they knew the people. Our best advertiser is Brian, who takes our customers home.
Really?
And he's just such a super nice guy, and he builds that relationship. That's what I like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they get to know.
Mm-hmm.
They come in and they ask about, is Brian going to take me home? You know?
That's awesome. Yep. Come back and get you when you're done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
that
great.
we cared about them.
Yeah.
That we cared about them as people, not just
Mhm.
their car.
Mhm.
That we cared that their mom passed away, or
Mm-hmm.
that they are battling cancer, or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that we cared about their life, not just their vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The car is, pun intended, just the vehicle for care.
Mm-hmm.
It could be something else. It could be the plumber or the nurse or whatever it is. You're caring for people, and that's the fun part of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, fun. Yeah, after that debacle with the Grand Marquis that I talked to you about, you cared for us in that way too. Like, we got it all done, got it home, and then about, I don't know, a week later, got a card in the mail. Just said thanks for trusting us, and everybody signed it.
Yeah.
Had lots of different comments in there from everybody in the shop. So anyway, that was great.
Well, we do recognize that people are trusting us.
Mm-hmm.
They are putting their trust, and, you know, we try to communicate through all the what ifs. Once you fix this leak, we'll need to retest because it's going to go to the point of least resistance.
Yeah.
But we try to communicate and care for them, and probably over communicate so that they know exactly what they're getting. I think we alluded to before, Bill always did a complete job, but you might not know it.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things we implemented when we bought it was we always get approval first.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what the job is, we're going to call, and you're going to know the price, what the price point is, and what you're getting. So
I love that.
because we know that it's not only does it affect your day, it does affect your finances as well.
Affects your wallet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fat going in, skinny coming out.
Yeah.
It's all right. Wish the other things worked that way, but okay. Just before we close up, any other topics? Things you guys wanted to talk through? Any questions? Anything you thought we'd talk about that we didn't? And I can cut things, edit them in. You know, I'll obviously pull this out. But if there's something that you were passionate about or wanted to discuss,
One of the things that we're passionate about is marriage and family, and it's been a part of our legacy. You know, it's John that's pushing it, but my mom and dad, that was the whole point of the church that they started was God created you to be in a family, and that's what this church is going to be for you. And so that model is what God uses, and so we're passionate about that as well. We're passionate about marriages and things, and so we love that. We love our own marriage. We love to help other people in any way that we can too. And it's one of those things that we, anytime we can encourage people in the fact that it's worth it, you know, marriage is awesome. It can be really tough. And I know we've been blessed in ways that other people haven't, but I've still seen it work amazing in people that have gone through tough stuff. And being in a church family is like, I would just encourage people to do that. And that's super important.
Yeah.
But It's like for the date night is it's maintenance,
Mhm.
right? It's like your car
Mhm.
in the fact of you should do it when it doesn't need repaired
Mm-hmm.
to keep from repairs, or at least it's not going to keep you. Your car's still going to break down if you do
Yeah.
all these maintenance things, but it lessens the severity
Yeah.
and the duration
Right.
and how many you've got. If you just run it hard and put away wet, you're
Yeah.
it's going to break down on you more frequently, and it's going to be more costly.
Mhm.
And that was kind of the things that happened in our marriage. We were just running and running and running. We were not stopping to do that little investment. And like money investment, if you're investing in the stock market, what's the best thing to do? Often and
Yeah.
whatever you can.
Yep.
Don't wait till you get $1,000 in the bank. You got $50, invest it now.
Yep.
Dollar cost averaging says
Oh, I
it's
love
going to
that.
pay. It's going to pay to do it more regularly, even if it's a little bit, than just big lump sums.
Yeah.
And that daily delay, and we're working on the daily delay. We're not doing very good at that. We're doing the weekly. What's the WW? I can never
Weekly withdrawal.
withdrawal. We do pretty well on weekly withdrawal now,
Mm-hmm.
but that daily needs to be my daily dollar cost averaging right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really investing.
Yeah.
When you're 80, what will you be most proud of?
I hope my kids and grandkids
Mm.
and not even them, not just them,
Mm-hmm.
the other families,
The legacy.
Yeah.
Mm.
The other families that we got to be in, they blessed us by letting us be involved in them.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've carried that same idea of family to our team.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mhm.
involved in their lives. We care about their kids. We care about their marriages and what they're going through. And so I feel like we don't just have kids. We have
Mhm.
4 kids at
Mhm.
home. And then we have,
Adopted kids and
we have 8 other kids. They're adults, but we care for them and work together with them to improve and see their potential and move forward and encourage them in their life. And so I think we've carried that same idea of family to our business and those around us. So
yeah.
when we're 80, it's not just going to be our kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
It's going to hopefully be the kids and grandkids of employees that we've positively impacted their life,
Yeah.
that they have a legacy for their families, that
Yeah.
they'll be on a podcast saying, my old boss, smart guy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, too, right? I mean, it's the perfect answer, right? Because I mean, your business is great, right? But it's not the thing that you'll be most proud of, right?
No.
And it's the relationships and the people and the investment and the time and all these things, right? And in that spirit, as the first official sponsors of the Son of the Law podcast,
Yeah.
Your investment in this show has meant a lot to me and to our listeners, right? I mean, you're part of the reason why we can do kind of some of the things we're doing. And so just here publicly, thank you for your investment in me, in this
welcome.
show, in our community here, right? I mean, I think it's awesome. And I've said it and kind of alluded to it in a couple of different ways. And hopefully people will see, chatting with you, right? Like the business is cool and you guys are doing a great job. And I mean, you've got a customer for life as far as I'm concerned, but I hope beyond all hope, people did not hear this episode and think this was like a commercial for your business, right? Like I think we've done a nice job not doing that, right? I mean, I think the way you do things kind of sells itself, but your intentionality, the way you approach your marriage, the way you approach your relationships, the way you approach, right? I didn't even ask for the initial sponsorship, right? Literally, I got a check in the mail and just said, "We love what you're doing. Here's your first.
We want to be the first sponsor.
Here's your Kickstarter." And that meant so much.
Yeah, but when you're Joe Rogan, you're going to say, well, Complete Auto in Richmond was my first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we're ride or die at this point.
It's investment. You got to invest early in these startups.
That's true. That's true. Dollar cost averaging.
That's right.
Man. Get your $50 in. But no, I do think it says something about who you are as people. You invest in people. You invest in your community. I think Richmond is better because of your business, right? I mean, I think our communities are better because of you. And just thank you for coming. So, if you're in Richmond, Missouri, and you need honest automotive service, check out Complete Auto Right. No, I won't say that. I won't finish it like that. But really, just thank you for coming.
It's our pleasure.
Glad to have you here.
We've enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right, everyone. This has been the Son of the Law podcast. Have a great night.